Taka Tanni's show, aka TT. I want to thank you for watching me every week. Today we'll be talking about falling in love. Falling in love. Back in the days, it used to be something natural. You know, when falling in love, when you sit and you anticipate your partner's calls, when you love their touch, you adore their idiosyncrasies. But you know, down the road, their idiosyncrasies make you so terribly mad and irritated by their outlook or even by their presence. Falling in love in those days was a completely natural thing and spontaneous thing. You know, that's why it was called falling in love. Back in the days, our parents never used to really anticipate the act of falling in love because it was there. That's when you call it, I was swept off my feet. You know, that expression, falling in love. It's very natural back in the days. But what is falling in love nowadays? What really entails being in love with somebody nowadays? Is it really there? Were you swept off your feet by the man you love now? Or the man you claim to love? Tough question. Falling in love. Falling in love. Think about the imagery of that expression. Falling in love. It's like you just being there, sitting still, doing nothing, going about your business, anticipating nothing at all, walking along the streets, looking for no one, just going about your business. And then boom, it happens. You set your eyes on a man, or a man sets his eyes on you, and bam, it happens. Falling in love. That phrase is very spontaneous. Falling in love. Back in the days, it was natural and spontaneous, but now, I mean, I am interested in the noun. Does it really exist? Do you fall in love? Are you swept off your feet? Does a man really just look at you and boom, it happens? Do you really just sit doing nothing and you are in love? Falling in love. But after the euphoria, after so many years of marriage, the euphoria of love fades. Is the story of our lives. Phone calls become a little bit lesser, or they don't even come at all. Your husband's touch become very irritating or very lacking if it comes at all, if it happens at all. And the idiosyncrasies of your husband or your wife that was very cute back then drives you nuts. Then you know that every step of life has a mountain. Then you know there's no perfect marriage. You know there's no perfect relationship. You know every time you are in life, you should expect rocky ages. The symptoms and stages of every marriage vary. They vary from marriage to marriage, from relationship to relationship. Some relationships have a flat level, an average level of operation, where they go from beginning to end at the flat rates. Some relationships start going higher and then down, you know, they flip-flop at various stages. But some of them actually go up and then right down, they sink right deep into at length. But then you start questioning, was that marriage built on love? Was somebody swept off their feet? Was it really love? Falling in love. At this point, you and your spouse begin to ask questions. Did I marry the right person? Well, at this point in the relationship, you start have blames. Your partner blames you and you blame your partner. And then you go down looking for the things that brought you guys together in the first place, the things that are missing in your marriage when the relationship goes down. One thing is, maybe you start looking for that thing outside of your marriage with other people. How do you fix your marriage? When you start looking for those things that are missing in your marriage from other people outside, how does your marriage cope? How do you fix your marriage? Once your eyes are away from your marriage, from the thing that is making you fall apart, you're looking for it somewhere else, not in your marriage. You're not concentrating to fix your marriage or to bring back that thing that glued your marriage in the first place. It is scattered.
If you like it, good day.
When all of this happen, it boils down to extramarital fulfillment. These come in different shapes and sizes, I tell you. Thing is, some people, their extramarital fulfillment come with cheating. They're looking for some other person to get what is lacking in their marriage. Some people just bury themselves into their work, their church, excessive TV, drugs, smoking, drinking. But the point is, once you start drifting away from your marriage to look for extramarital fulfillment, that's where the problem is. The answer is not outside. The answer is inside your marriage, inside your relationship. So don't go outside looking for extra marital fulfillments. Don't go cheating. Don't go bury yourself into work. Don't start going to church excessively. Or, the solution is in your house with your partner. Communication. The key to a successful marriage is not finding the right person. It's learning to love the person you found.
Anything when you do for this life, my brother, not for your head, though. This one not true story, oh. They Martin, that's my.
Now then you get to sustaining love. Sustaining love is not something you've been swept off your feet and you think you fall in love and then you think you can sustain love. Sustaining love is the energy you put in making your love grow. It's the energy you put in spicing up your relationship. It's the love and happiness, the joy and laughter you bring in your house every single day in your relationship. Sustaining love is one of the most difficult ways in which to prosper in your love relationship, in your marriage. Sustaining love. It's not easy. It's determination. It doesn't come spontaneously. It needs strength. To sustain love, it's not an easy thing. Ladies, sometimes you feel like the man is not doing enough, but we are nurturers. Men do enough. Men will do huge if they are in love. It comes from both strengths. You work hand in hand to sustain that love. Sustaining love is a very difficult thing in every marriage or relationship that must be taken seriously, because if you don't have the secret to sustaining love, then your relationship blows into flames. You don't even know where you went wrong. But when you work at your marriage every single day, the energy you put in your job, in praising God, if you put that energy, that effort into bringing that gloom in your marriage, then you got the secret. You got the secret. Sustaining love, it's a lot of sacrifice. You have to sacrifice a whole lot to sustain your love. And understanding, communication. The more you understand your partner, what he likes, what you bring to the table and what he does bring to the table, when you understand him, then you work hand in hand. I don't mean the woman should compromise that much, but the woman and the man, they have to understand each other. Communication too is very important. It sustains love. If you learn to communicate with each other, understand each other, listen to each other, sustaining love, you do sustain.
Everybody don't begin to wonder.
Ladies and gentlemen, love in a marriage is a decision, not a feeling. We have to make sure that we understand that forgiveness is greater than revenge. Definitely people make mistakes. It's allowed. But how we carry it with the rage that is inside of us will surely haunt us in the future. So why don't we just pause and ponder. Think before we act. Be patient. Love one another. The time we take to revenge is the time we should be taking to love each other, get to know who is beside you. Don't judge, because the time you take to judge is the time that you should be loving that person closer to you. Forgive and forget is the watchword. Love is a decision, not a feeling. If you feel so much, then you lose the facts, you lose aspects, then you lose it. Because then, when that person makes a little mistake, what you're thinking of is revenge. But instead, if you make a decision to love that someone, and a mistake is being made, then you find it so easily to forgive and forget and continue loving. Love is a beautiful thing. Don't take it for granted. Now you know what it takes to make a marriage work. But make no mistake about it. There are rules you have to follow. Just as, rules to losing weight is dieting, you eat the proper food. There are rules to every relationship. Rules to making your love blow. You must follow the rules. Just as we have the rules in the universe, such as gravity. You have to follow rules to relationships to make your relationship really work. Love is not a mystery, but how you work at it. You need constant work, constant understanding, constant listening to each other. Love is a beautiful thing. You need to nurture it. Make it gloom in your relationship. Spice it up. Make every little bit of minute, second, day, night count in your relationship. Spice that love. Bring it out. This was Taka Tanni talking about falling in love, aka TT. Stay tuned.
Like canary girl, poya poya. Yeah, everybody wanna toya toya. Mama and papa them they begin to the poya poya. Guy, say na me be the toya toya, toya toya, toya toya. Yeah, everybody wanna poya poya. Mama and papa the people they wanna go toya toya.